Hi all, this is Satish from Savita Engineering College. I currently pursuing my BTech Artificial Intelligence and Data Science from Savita Engineering College. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate my final year project phase 1, which is Restaurant Chain Management System with Agentic AI. I done this project under the guidance of my mentor, Mr. Ubay Toto, who is the Dean of the ICT. Okay. Our project restaurant chain management system mainly focuses on managing restaurants and setting restaurants across various geographical locations. Uh, in our current society, managing restaurants are becoming increasingly complex as the business model expands across multiple locations. So the key challenge which includes are planning efficiently, fragmenting data, and lack of intelligent decision support. Um, Basically, the restaurant operations involve location analysis, inventory management, staff allocation, and regulatory checks that becomes difficult without automation. So to overcome this challenge, we are giving an automated recommendation system for the restaurants in management system with Agentic AI. Also, the industry report also shows that poor planning of restaurants reduces profitability and slows the operational efficiency. So, Agentic AI enables smarter, faster, and more autonomous decision making to improve the overall restaurant management. The major challenges of the manual restaurants in management system or manual processing, which involves poor location planning, inventory analysis, and staff rely on human judgments, which causes delays, and also inconsistency, where the different managers may produce different results and it affects the overall performances. And another challenge is the data fragmentation, which is sales, inventory, and complaints data are stored separately and limited accurate insights. And another challenge is limited data, where the most restaurants lacks advanced AI systems for intelligent decision making. And the main objective of our project is to building an AI powered platform using agentic AI to automate analysis, optimize planning, and support smarter restaurants in management decisions. The scope of our project is to building a prototype of the restaurant chain management system using Python for backend, using fast API, MongoDB for knowledge base, Neo4j for knowledge graph, and LangChain or Gemini API for agentic layer. We develop AI agents that perform location analysis, demand forecasting, and resource allocation. We then improve speed and quality of strategic operational decisions across branches. The target audiences are restaurant owners, regional managers, and operational teams. The deliverables are the deliverables of this project are prototype with the deployed agentic AI and dashboards. A manager who can face web interfaces for recommendations, alerts, and approvals, and then documentations which covers system architecture, agentic behaviors, data resources, sources, and evaluation results. The inclusions of these projects are collecting data from multiple sources such as the demographic data, competitors data, and regulatory informations, and building a knowledge base for using MongoDB and knowledge graph using Neo4j for the structure for relational insights. And then we develop a agentic AI system using LangChain and Gemini for decision making. We create a manager facing portal for viewing recommendations and analysis. The exclusions are real time restaurant order processing, full scale deployment across actual restaurant branches. We get the data using publicly available datasets for demographics, competition, and regional attributes. We pre-process and structure data for knowledge base and knowledge graph. The limitations are the unreliable or limited or inconsistent data in some of the regions. Recommendations may vary across different geographical contexts. expert validation needed before real world adaptations. And then agentic AI and graph processing may require higher computational resources. The methodology which are involved in our project are as follows. Uh, we first collect the data, demographic data, competitor data, and regional data sets, which is required for locational and operational analysis. And then data pre-processing. We clean, normalize, and structure data for using in the knowledge base and knowledge graph. Then agent development, we build AI agents such as supervisors, market, regulatory using LangChain and Gemini for performing reasoning and generate recommendations. Then portal development, we create a user interface where where managers are capable of inputting queries and can view AI generated insights. We then integrate and test our project. We then integrate the agents with the portal, and then we test the system for accuracy, inconsistency, and reliability in the decision making. Yeah, this is the architecture of our restaurants in management system, where the client, who may be the admin or the user or the manager, will input the query and query through the front end, and will go to the back end and get the required information from the knowledge base or the knowledge graph, and it will retrieve the data accordingly to the front end. It will be displayed to the clients. Yeah, this is the use case diagram of our project, which involves many agents such as the admin, branch manager, data or business analyst. The admin will get the data accordingly what he is allocated for, and the branch manager will get the data what he is allocated for, and the business analyst will get the data what he is allocated for. All the agents will get the data accordingly what they were allocated for. And this is the class diagram of our project, which involves multiple classes: the user class, AI agent, orchestration agent, the documentary agent, Gemini API agent, knowledge base and knowledge graph. All the classes are displayed here. This is the sequence diagram of our project, where the query will be sent from the uh, front end, which is developed by React by the user, and it will go to the API server in the back end, and the back end will retrieve the required reply for the query, and it will send to the front end, and the result will be displayed to the user. The algorithms used are Gemini Pro for reasoning, for performing multiple reasoning, location planning, demand forecasting, and decision making, for generating intelligent data-driven recommendations. Data-driven recommendations. Um, and then here we did not use Gemini Pro as we are lacking out of tokens, so we used Gemini Flash. And then LangChain Agentic framework. We created specialized AI agents that work together to analyze data and produce insights. Supporting tools for calling memory and structured reasoning. We used knowledge graph algorithms, Neo4j, to identify patterns and relationship between demographics, competitors, and regions, which helps determine the best restaurant locations. Then we use hybrid drag for vector searching, uses embeddings for semantic search across the knowledge base, and knowledge graphs, and which ensures accurate context-aware information. And the hardware and software selection, which are given as follows. The hardware requirements are standard laptop or PC, cloud hosting environment for MongoDB, Neo4j, stable internet connection for the API access, and of course the optimal local server or VPS for deployment. And the software requirements are Python for backend, Gemini API, LangChain, MongoDB Atlas for base, knowledge base, Neo4j for knowledge graph, Foursquare Place API, VS Code, and GitHub. The implementation is mainly the system is implemented in Python using frameworks like Fast API, LangChain, and Gemini API Pro. Gemini Pro API. The data is stored and managed using MongoDB Atlas for knowledge base and Neo4j Aura for knowledge graph. The agents are developed to perform reasoning, analyzing locations, and making decisions based on the data which are collected. A lightweight web interface is also created to allow the users to input the multiple queries and view the AI generated insights. The Agentic AI layer also integrates all components to deliver the recommendations like the branch locations and operational planning. These are the important code segments of our project. For we are importing the knowledge base and knowledge graph according to the PDF processor for processing the PDFs. Yeah, this is what how it is. Major code segments. Yeah, this is the output of our project. These are the test cases. These are the accuracy. We got an accuracy, a recommendation accuracy of 80 percentage. Knowledge retrieval accuracy of approximately 90 percentage using RAG. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Let's move on to the implementation part of our project. Yeah. Let's log into the system of our project. The username is admin and the password is admin. Yeah, we got ourselves logged into the restaurants in management system. Now, this is the UI of our restaurant in management system where we can ask our query and get the desired output. And these are the user information. The name is system administrator. The role is admin. And these are some of the example queries. Okay, let's move on with the sample query. Find best location for Chinese restaurants in Chennai. Let's see what it is suggesting. Yeah, it suggested where we can set up a Chinese restaurant in Chennai. It gives the top three locations for setting a Chinese restaurant in Chennai. The first location is Velachery. The first location is it gives the first location as Velachery, and it gives the criteria and details of why it is suitable. What is the food traffic? How many people will come here? And the potential challenges. What will be the potential challenges of setting a Chinese restaurant in Velachery? And the approximate setup cost for setting a Chinese restaurant in Velachery, and the regulatory considerations which might affect the setting of the Chinese restaurant in Velachery. These are it clearly gives the criteria and the according details of setting a restaurant in Velachery, Chinese restaurant in Velachery. And then the second location is Anna Nagar, and it clearly gives the criteria and the detailed explanation for those criteria for setting a Chinese restaurant in Velachery, and it might be slightly higher in cost than Velachery, being Anna Nagar is a premium location, one of the premium locations in Chennai, and the regulatory considerations is also conversion fees, being premium locations in Chennai. And the third location is Adayar or maybe Besan Nagar, and it gives why it is suitable for setting a Chinese restaurant in Adayar or Besan Nagar. Criteria, concept with potential challenges, approximate setup, which is 1 crore to 1.8 crore. As we all know, Adayar and Besan Nagar is one of the most premium locations in Chennai, so it might cost also very high. And the regulatory considerations is also given. It also gives the summary of the suitable locations as a whole, which includes the location, primary focus, best for concepts, and overall risk or rewards. And the source trace, which is also given for MongoDB, Neo4j, agent documents. Let's give a manual query like best location to set up best location for for biryani in Trichy. It might took a little bit longer time as it is. Yeah, it give the results. Yeah, three locations for setting a biryani shop in Trichy. The first location is the central bus stand, or the most cantonment area. It gives the features with the details, the area name, suitability, potential challenges, approximate setup cost, regulatory considerations. The second location is Tillai Nagar in Trichy, and the third location might be KK Nagar or Puttur. And the final summary is also given with the requirement category, key approvals needed in Trichy, setup cost impact. The source trace is also given. Yeah, this is how our project restaurant chain management system with Agentic AI works. I hope the project fits you well. And yeah, thank you.